So like I said, you're gonna need a tennis ball and you're gonna need a massage ball, and we're gonna go through our mobility massage training. And what we're gonna start out with, what I like to kind of start out with a lot of times, even in my, in a day-to-day, my kind of day-to-day practice is I just do a squat, just to kind of feel an overall sense of how my body's feeling. And if your squat doesn't look exactly like mine in the sense of like, you don't have to go all the way down, but it gives you an idea of kind of where you're at, where there might be some stiffness, where there might be some, mobility issues. So kind of getting an idea with that. And if your squat looks like a sit and stand, you can use that as your like pre and post test as well. Because I really want you to pay attention to your squat right now. And then I want you at the very end, we're going to pay attention to the squat then and just kind of feel whether if there's been a change in your squat. And as you do the squat too, try to keep your feet pointed forward, because we're going to specifically not focus as much on the exercise side of things, but focus on the mobility. And ideally, we keep the feet forward about shoulder width. If you need to go a little wider, that's fine. Screw those thighs out, and you're going to go down. And then just get a sense of, you want to feel like the pressure on your feet are staying even. So that's kind of where, if this is it, and then you have to lift your heels, then just stop there. And then when we retest, we'll compare, okay, did you get lower or whatever. Okay, if you feel tension in your lower back, feel tension in your neck, shoulders, wherever it is, just be aware of that, okay? So that's our squat. And then we're just gonna go into a calf stretch. And you can either grab a wall and push back this way, or just so you can see kind of what I'm doing. So if your hands are on the wall, you're trying to drive your heel down, just get a sense of how your calf feels. Okay, and what we'll do, just to keep some consistency, we'll always start with the right side. So let's switch sides. Now I'm on my right side, but we'll roll out the right side first, and then we'll roll out the left, just to kind of keep some consistency. So driving that heel down, and you want to pay attention, see if you can keep your foot straight. Okay? And you're just kind of assessing, where do I feel tightness? Do I feel it in a high part of my calf? Is it a broad tightness? Is it a little bit lower in the Achilles? Keep that leg back, bend the knee a little bit. And I want you to feel that the stretch goes a little bit more to the back of the Achilles, a little lower, okay? And pay attention too, do you feel tightness in the front of the ankle as you're doing this as well? So we're just focusing on the right side. I ended up switching sides, I started on the left. But get that stretch, feel how that feels, bend the knee, feel how that feels, and we'll go to the first exercise with the ball rolling. And you can either use a massage ball or a tennis ball, whatever kind is more comfortable. And you're going to put the ball underneath your calf, and you're just going to roll around on that whole calf, and just feel around, explore, and try to explore the whole calf, explore the whole side, the whole middle, the whole outside. And then what I want you to do is just settle in on a spot that might feel a little extra tender, a little bit, tight, ropey, adhered, whatever it feels a little different to you. Hold it there. And if you need more pressure, you can cross your leg over, and then you're going to flex in points. Yep. So now we're just kind of sinking into that spot, and we're just kind of pulling that fascia away, sinking into it, pulling that fascia away, circle the foot, just kind of pulling it in a different direction, and reverse the circle. And we get to work on some ankle range, which is great. Okay, and then we'll roll around again and find another spot. And if you find another spot, hold it, Again, if you want more pressure, I'm just putting my leg on my leg, my other leg there, and I'm gonna flex some points, and you're just trying to sink into it. If you find yourself like tensing up or holding your breath, then try to maybe grab a softer ball or try to breathe into it. Try to really relax into it. We don't want to tense up while we're doing this. Circle, reverse. And there's a bunch of different ways to mobilize the calves, but roll again. And if you find another spot, hold it. And you're gonna flex in a point. And at the very least, we're just increasing blood flow, and we're just we're bringing some more awareness to how our calves are feeling. Circle, reverse. Beautiful, and just do a full rollout. And you're gonna stand up. And so I like to do the pre-test and post-test just to let it sink into our brain that we're causing some sort of change. So let's go back into that calf stretch and then just feel, okay, does it feel broader? Does it feel like less of a stretch? Does it feel like you can get greater range of motion? Just all that stuff. Feel how we change the quality of the tissue, and hopefully that will sink in a little bit more. So now we've got better range of motion with a little more ease. So now we can walk around throughout the day without straining those areas as much. And then you can bend the knee and just feel whether that feels any looser as well. And then sometimes another area will pop out. It'll be like, oh, I feel more tightness on the outside of my calf now. So that's and that'll give you some other areas to work on. Okay, great. Let's switch to the other side. So let's go to that calf stretch again, and just get a sense of how that feels. If it's broad, specific, bend the knee. Get a sense of how that feels, and you're gonna have a seat. And I forgot to mention this on the first side, but after you're done exploring this whole calf, you can lower your body down so you don't have weight on your arms so much. I'll show you in a second. So just exploring that entire calf. Feel roll out the inside, roll out the center, roll out the outside. And then hold it on the spot that feels a little bit more tender, tight, restricted. Hold it. You can cross the leg over if you want more pressure, and you're gonna point flex. So here's what you can do. You can lie all the way back, and you can take the pressure off of your upper body, and you can do everything from here. So if that's an issue, to put your arms behind you for a long period of time. So point and flex, circle, and we're just trying to change the quality of the tissue. That's all. Reverse. And if it doesn't feel like enough, you can always switch to the tennis ball. Let's explore another spot. And when you find that spot, hold it and point and flex. And sometimes when I teach this, I start out with the higher part of the calf, and I roll that out, and I explore that area. Then I go to the circle your leg, circle your foot. And then I go to the middle part, and then I go to the bottom part. So it kind of breaks it up into sections. But I figured for the ease of this class, we'll just reverse. We'll just explore the whole calf. And you just go to the areas that feel most restricted. Roll again. And then go to that last area and hold it and point flex. And circle. And sometimes this is where the roller sometimes comes in handy as well. It's a little different depending on the density of the roller. Reverse. And then just roll up that whole calf again. Okay, and you're gonna stand up. And you're gonna bring that leg back behind you. And you're just gonna, again, explore, just pay attention. Does that feel like a broader stretch? Does it feel less sensation? Do you have greater range of motion? Did it change? Is it in the back of the knee instead of in the Achilles? All that kind of stuff. Okay, and then bend the knee and just feel that stretch a little bit lower, or you don't. For me, it feels just much more broad. I don't feel anything really crazy. I don't feel a crazy stretch. I could probably go into a greater stretch now. Good. So, and then kind of after each technique, we'll go into the squat again. So you're gonna squat down and just feel whether that feels a little bit easier. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Okay, but we're just trying to assess whether we're affecting change. Okay, next, we're gonna go to the feet next. So just kind of bring your awareness to your feet. What I'd like to do is I'd like to roll down and touch your toes. So try to keep your legs completely straight, just so you know where you're at. And I know it's a little early, so you might be a little bit tighter, but feel where you're at. And this is working more with that fascial line, that posterior fascial line. If we affect the bottom of our feet, a lot of times we can affect the rest of that posterior chain. So grab that tennis ball. You can use the massage balls. They're just not typically as effective. If you have a lacrosse ball or a golf ball, you can do that as well. And again, what we'll do is just roll out. We'll start with that right foot. Just roll out that whole foot, exploring the heel part, exploring the outside, inside, middle, ball of the foot. Just exploring, noticing any areas of tension. And if you find a specific spot, hold it. And you're gonna curl your toes, try to curl your toes or curl your foot over it and then extend. So you're curling and extending. So we're not just working on, mobilizing that spot, but we're working on that foot dexterity as we do it. Okay, and then roll. And if you find a second spot, hold it. And you're gonna curl and extend, curl and extend. So you're really working on opening up those toes as much as you can, trying to open up those metatarsals, and then roll, explore. Let's hit that last spot, curl and extend, curl and extend. Okay, and then first we'll just walk around and just feel the difference in your feet. Feel the difference in that foot. I definitely feel a little more grounded. Maybe the foot feels a little more alive. Feel like a little bit more blood flow. All those things are great. All right, let's go to the other side. And you're gonna roll the other side out. So you're just rolling. And I just like to, instead of kind of like going from one like muscle group to the next muscle group to the next muscle group, I like us to kind of bring that awareness. Because again, I think it's gonna be more effective if your brain is recognizing that, wow, my foot feels so much better after doing that. And then you really realize how beneficial some of the techniques can be for your body. So yeah, rolling out, just exploring, and compare the two sides too. Once you find that spot, you're gonna curl those toes and extend. But yeah, compare, is this foot more tender? Is this foot feel better? Is this foot, whatever it is, but does this foot move easier? Does this foot move less? And then roll again. And hold it, and again, you're gonna flex and extend, flex and extend. And really working on trying to open up those toes, try to bring some more awareness to the feet. And again, roll, we'll do one more spot. Sometimes you might lose that ball, and you'll hold it, and you do the same thing, flex and extend, flex and extend. And then just roll out one more time the full foot. And then again, take a moment, walk around, and just feel what you feel. Again, I feel a little more grounded. I feel like that foot's a little bit softer. I feel like it's a little more alive even, a little more blood flow. And then you're gonna hold this, and then you're gonna roll down, touch your toes. Try to keep the variables the same. So if you bent your knees a little bit, bend your knees a little bit again. If you kept your legs straight, and then just roll down and just see if there's a difference. And hopefully there is. And if there's not, that's okay. But sometimes, again, when you affect that fascial line, it can affect the rest of the fascial line. So when you roll at the bottom of the feet, it can help loosen up the calves, the hamstrings, so it can give some more flexibility to that. Awesome. Let's go to a squat again, just because we can. And just, feel whether that feels better or worse. Same. Okay, great. All right, done. Let's go to the some ankle mobility stuff, which we've done in classes. So you're gonna come down, and you're just going to, with our new range of motion, we're gonna work just a couple of those mobility exercises, driving your knee forward over that second and third toe. And then you kind of go a little bit towards that pinky toe. So we're just trying to, appreciate the new ranges that we've gotten, and we're trying to work through those ranges, and then go towards the big toe. And then switch sides. So it's quick. It's a quick little activation in the front of that shin, a little bit more length in the back of the calf and the ankle, and we're just working on that dorsiflexion of the foot. And you're going right in line with that second and third toe, and then you're going to go towards the pinky toe. And then you're going to go towards the big toe. So just hitting those different ranges of motion without that heel lifting. Okay, awesome. Coming up, and then with a new kind of movement in our feet, we're going to do some foot dexterity work. So you're going to spread your toes, and you're just going to connect all 10 toes to the floor, and we're just going to lift the big toe and lower, and lift the little toes and lower. So lift the big toe and lower, lift the little toes and lower. So you're just alternating these, bringing some more awareness. Because we've rolled out the bottom of the feet, hopefully we can access this greater foot dexterity that we may not have had beforehand. And so we're kind of retraining those muscles to work a little bit more specific, we'll say. Okay, just doing a couple of those. And then we're going to go up onto one ball of the foot, and then we're just going to switch. So we're doing running, just like we do in Pilates. So we switch, and then we switch. And we're lifting up, we're connecting with all 10 toes, and we're just lifting up onto the first and second ball of the foot. So we're getting that access, the extension of the toes, and a little bit more ankle range as well. Good. And then we'll finish it with just some single leg balance. So you're going to hold it, and you're just going to stabilize in this position. And you're thinking tall, pelvic floor, that hip is nice and strong, and we're just holding and grounding the foot. And we're just kind of stabilizing. Because sometimes we create this extra movement in the, or extra space for those muscles and ankles to move. And now we're kind of just showing the brain some stability with that. So we're combining those two to allow better movement. Okay, and then switch sides. So we're just doing 30 seconds. You're just holding this, trying to feel very grounded in that foot. So you're centered through the center of the heel and even to the ball of the foot, inside, outside, forward, and back. And those 5 toes are just really connected. And 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, let's go back to that squat. See how that squat feels again. See if you can be a little more upright. See if you can get a little bit deeper. All those things. If there's knee pain, pay attention to that. If there's hip or lower back discomfort, pay attention to that. So that's our first kind of pre-test. We're going to lower back and hips now. And then the second one is going to be that rectus femoris stretch. So if you have like a step or something to put your foot up onto, you can do it this way and just get a sense of how that feels. If you don't, you can just have your foot on the floor or you can grab onto your own ankle. But again, try to keep the variables the same. So, I'm grabbing onto my toes, my foot and toes right now. So I'm going to do that on the post test too. And fire that glutes and pull those abs in. So we're trying to keep that pelvis in a neutral position and feel how the quad feels. Is there a specific spot tightness? Is there a specific knee pain that you've had? And we're going to kind of bring awareness to that. And of course, I started on my left leg. Go ahead and switch sides just to compare sides, and then we'll start on the right leg. So we're going to that, and compare sides. Fire your glutes, pull your abs in. See how that side feels in comparison, and again, feel whether it feels specific to a specific area. If there was any knee pain on that side when you're doing squats, or just going up and down stairs throughout the day, and release. Okay, and then we're going to do a quad release. So you're going to be on your stomach. You're going to grab your ball. I like, we can do the little ball. What we'll do for this, because it's a little easier, so we're not moving so much, is we're going to start out at the top of the hip and quad. We'll roll this out, then we'll go to the middle section, and then we'll go to the bottom section. Okay, so you're on your stomach. That's going to go right below your hip there, and you're just going to kind of roll around and explore that whole area of the upper part of your quad and hip. And if you don't find anything super specific, that's fine. But if you find just an area that feels the tightest out of all of the areas, just stop there. And then you're just going to bend and extend your knee. And you always have the option of laying all the way down, so you're not putting so much weight on your arms for a long period of time. Okay, you can hold it up. You can do a little internal, external rotation if you can keep the ball on that spot. And then we'll go to that next section. We'll go to more of that central location of the quad, and we're just kind of rolling 5 inches up, 5 inches down, rolling on the outside, rolling in the center, and rolling on the inside, and just feel what feels like it needs the most work. And you're going to hold it, and you're going to bend and extend. So same idea. You're breathing. If you find a really tight spot, just take a deep breath. Try to relax into it, maybe contract the muscle for a little bit and then release and use that breath, use that contract, relax to allow you to relax into the movement. We don't want to tense up. You can keep the knee bent and rotate in, rotate out, just as far as you can while you're standing on it. And then we'll move that ball down to that last section, so you're above your knee, and but not on the knee. Okay, and if you find a specific spot there, you can hold it and bend and extend the knee. And just don't forget, you can lower your body down if you need to. And make sure as you bend your knee, you're never arching the back, okay? So we're not starting to dip here. And then you can keep it bent, and you can rotate in a little bit, rotate out. This is a little harder to balance on, so I just like to do it because it kind of needs the muscles in a different way. Okay, and then if you can, just kind of do a full roll. Roll out the whole quad up and down. Just kind of flushing it out. Excellent. And then the first thing we'll do is stand up. And we'll do, I know it's a lot of up and down. We're going to do that quad, that squat. So you're going to squat and just compare the two sides. See if that right leg feels a little bit looser when you're going down. You know, if you had some medial knee pain, did that pain go away? So if it's as simple as just doing some soft tissue work, that's awesome. That's a great tool in your toolbox to use at home. Let's go to that stretch. So you come back down. And you do that, find that same position, whether you're up on a stool or grabbing at your own ankle or having the foot on the floor. And just feel whether that feels a little bit lighter, a little bit looser, a little bit more broad, or if the stretch changed at all. And what I want you to do is hold this, push your foot down. So try to push your foot down against your resistance. Take a deep breath. On that exhale, fire that glutes, pull your abs in, just pull that leg a little bit further into that stretch, and then let's push again. Take a deep breath. And then fire into that glute, pull those abs in, and draw that leg a little bit further. Beautiful. And let's switch sides, or let's switch sides. We'll retest that left side. So now we're able to access a greater range of motion, which was the point of doing that extra stretch at the end. Let's grab the opposite leg, just reassess real quick how that leg is feeling, and then we'll roll that up, okay? Okay, so we'll start out with that upper part of the quad, then the middle, and then the lower, all right? So you're just gonna roll this out, kind of explore that upper outside, center, middle, see if there's any areas that really stand out to you. You find a specific area, hold it, breathe into it, relax into it, and bend and extend your knee. And our goal is really to relax the system. It's not to stimulate the system right now. We're trying to get that flight or fight system to shut off for a little bit. You can rotate the leg in and out. So that's why I really want to make sure that we're relaxing into it. Do a contract, relax if you need to. Let's go to that next section. Because the quad can get really, can become very, very tender. So we want to make sure, and I'll give an example of how we can kind of relax into it if it's really tender. So let's say you find your tender spot, you're having a hard time relaxing into it, squeeze the quad, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, just try to relax a little further into it. And it just kind of gives you a sense of, okay, I was really gripping and I was really contracting when I was trying to relax into it. and you just work on using that breath to allow you to relax. Bend and extend the knee. I'm going to talk your ears off today. And then you can rotate in and rotate out. And then let's go to that last section. You're just going to roll that last. Okay, explore the inside, outside, center. Once you find that specific spot, hold it and bend and extend the knee. And again, you have the option of lowering all the way down if you need it. And then you can keep it bent and you just roll in, roll out, rotate in, rotate out. And then if you have the ability to just roll up and down that quad. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to stand all the way up again. And we're going to do that, that squat. You're going to love squats by the end of this. And just, again, feel whether you've got a greater range, or even if that range that you were at feels a little bit easier, it feels like that leg is a little bit looser. Okay, awesome. Let's go to that stretch. So you're going to grab your left ankle or put your left foot up onto a platform. Notice whether it feels different. Notice if it feels any looser. And when you're ready, push into that foot, or push your foot into your hands. Take a deep breath. On that exhale, fire that left glute, pull your abs in, and just keep that nice posture. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull those abs in. Bring that heel a little closer to your butt. Fire the glutes and release. Awesome. Good job. Let's go to, let's see how we're doing here. Let's go to the, let's go to the spine stretch. So this is going to be more about the lower back. So we're going to focus on the lower back, and we're going to pay attention to all these different ranges of motion, and we're going to see whether we'll see how well the lower back is moving. Okay, or not moving. Okay, arms are straight out front. Inhale, you to lengthen. So we're going to use some of the Pilates exercises as our pre-test. Inhale, exhale, pull those abs in and around forward. And just get a sense of, okay, how does this feel? Do you feel anything specific in your spine? Inhale, stack, exhale, pull those abs in. And if it's middle back or upper back, that's fine. We'll address that later. Inhale, exhale, pull those abs in. And then stack back up. Okay, so that's the first one. We'll do the rotation next, so arms are out to a T. Inhale as you rotate, exhale, round forward. Opposite pinky goes up, pinky toe, back palm turns up. Inhale, stack, exhale, rotate to the opposite. Now for this one, pay attention to which side you might rotate more on. So you want to be aware of that. And again, if there's any restriction or discomfort in the lower back, and ideally when you do any of those exercises, there shouldn't be. So let's go to mermaid. Now we get our lateral flexion in there. You're going to drop down to your elbow, inhale. Just a broad opening of that side. You come back and you drop down, inhale. Broad opening of that side. And we'll do one more. And you just be aware. Do you feel like there's a specific spot in the lower? Is there a specific spot higher up? And we'll just assess whether this feels a little bit looser after doing the lower back release, which is what we're doing next. So switch your position of your feet, drop down, inhale. Coming back up. And again, inhale. And at the very least, we just get some better movement, better blood flow to our ribs and our spine. And we get our breath moving a little bit more. You're gonna lie on your stomach, and we'll go into the extension. So we'll go into that squat. So pelvic floor, abs, glutes, just inhale, roll that bar away, and just slowly lift up one vertebra at a time. Just allowing that extension of the spine. And again, you assess, you just become more aware of your spine as you're doing this. Is there an area that feels a little bit more restricted? Or painful, or discomfortable, or uncomfortable? Last one. Or pinchy, whatever the sensation is. Become more aware of it. Take a quick little child's pose. Grab your ball. And ideally, again, with this, we would use the tennis balls, or something smaller, like a lacrosse ball, or tennis ball, or a golf ball. It's a little bit easier to get in those spots. Because we're just going to go, if you find your spine, we're just going to go just to the right of the spine. So not on the spine, just to the right. And we're going to roll that out. Try to start low, almost like between the hips low. And you're going to roll up and down. So we're just kind of, and we're starting with the right. And if you find a specific spot on that right side, you can tuck and release. Do a little tuck, release. And then if you can, try to kind of dip the hips down a little bit. Bend one knee, dropping the hip. Okay, let's move that ball up a little bit higher. And we're gonna roll up and down. So now we're kind of, again, still along the spine, but kind of above the hips. So this is what I would be like more in the lower back region. And we're just rolling this out. And again, if you find a specific spot here, you can tuck and release. And if you need more pressure, you would walk away from the wall. If you need less pressure, then you would walk towards the wall. And you always have the option of using a different ball if this is too hard or not hard enough. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll go side to side. So we're going to go between the ribs and the hips. So I'm going along this section here, and this is where we're getting more into. If you can get access to this, but more into like QL and just softening up some of those erectors going out to the side there. So softening up some of those back muscles. And if you find a specific spot that feels tender or restricted, you can hold it and you can tuck and release. And then you can potentially side bend away depending on where you are. So I'm just kind of side bending away from that spot. And I'm breathing. Okay? And then just go ahead and roll down toward your toes. And at the very least, just feel the difference, even when you're just standing, feel the difference between the two sides. Feel whether that feels like more blood flow, more awareness, whatever it is, lighter, looser. Be aware of that, let that sink in, okay? Let's go to the other side. So find your spine. You're gonna go just to the left of the spine. And you're gonna roll up and down. And if you find a specific spot here, hold it. And even again, if it's not anything super tender or specific, then just find the area that might feel the most restricted and then just work there, tuck and release, and then you can go side to side. And all of this can be done on the floor. I just find for most people, that's a little too aggressive. So this is why I'm demonstrating it here. Okay, let's bring that ball up a little bit higher. So again, you're still right along the spine, just to the left of the spine. And you're just gonna roll up and down. And explore, see if there's an area that feels a little bit more restricted. If you find that spot, hold it, tuck and release. So I'm just tilting my pelvis back, releasing so my pelvis goes on the wall. I tuck, I release, I tuck, I release. Kind of dropping one hip then the other. Kind of trying to get this side to side motion. Kind of working that fascia in a different plane of movement. And then we'll go to that between the ribs and the hip. We're just rolling out this section here. And if you find a specific spot, hold it. And again, tuck and release. And we're just trying to kind of hold that area that feels the most tender or tight. And we're just mobilizing it. We're just kind of moving the pelvis around it. We're going to side bend away from it. So now we're moving our ribs away from it. And we're breathing. Beautiful. And you come up there. You can set that ball down and just roll down to touch your toes. And just feel if that feels any different. That's all. And same concept if you compare it to the very beginning. You know, when you roll out a section of your posterior chain, you can potentially affect the rest of the posterior chain. So just keep that in mind. Awesome. So the back should feel a little looser. Now let's go to that spine stretch again, and let's just see if there's a difference. Whether the exercise just feels better. Or you can get a little bit more access to your core because your back doesn't feel as tight. So your arms are here, inhale to lengthen, exhale, pull those abs in the round forward. And I know this position isn't the great, it's a hard position to be in for a lot of people, so you can prop yourself up if you need to. Inhale, exhale, pull those abs in, rounding forward, and just get a sense of whether that movement feels a little bit better, whether there's some more quality to it. Then you can bring your arms out to a T. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, stack. Exhale. And then we can decide, does this feel a little easier as well? If your quads were gripping a ton, are they gripping less because now your back has some better mobility to it? Last one. Okay, and then we'll go to that mermaid. And you drop down, inhale, and just opening up. And if it doesn't feel any different, that's fine. We're going through this nice range, and this is a great thing to be able to do. It's a great exercise for your rib cage and spine, and to access those different breathing positions. Okay, let's switch sides. Same idea, arms out to a T, you drop down, inhale. And again, inhale. And last one. Opening up those ribs. Beautiful, let's go to the extension. Inhale, exhale, pelvic floor, abs, glutes. Inhale, roll that marble away. And just lift up. And just see if there's a little bit more ease with that extension. Inhale. See if you can breathe a little bit. See if you can breathe a little better. Inhale. Excellent. From here, we're going to go into some spinal stability. So we're going to take kind of that space we've created, and now we're going to create some support around it. So we're just going to do a 30-second plank. So you're going to come onto your elbows, and you're going to bring your feet up, your knees up, hips up. Started at 10 seconds here, and we're just going to breathe. Feel the pelvic floor, feel the abs, feel that support wrapping all the way around. Sometimes if the back is really tight, the abs tend to not be able to fire as efficiently. So feel how strong those abs are. Feel how they can just support you in this position. And breathe. And lower down. Good. So again, not meant to like tax the system by any means, but just to create some stability around that. Let's go to the next. You're gonna lie your back. We're gonna go into some more shoulders and kind of thoracic spine. So you're gonna lie all the way back. And your arms are up towards the ceiling. Kind of bring your arms down to about 90 degrees. And we're gonna bring your hands to the floor, or we're gonna try to bring your hands to the floor. And breathe. So we want that lower back to be in a neutral position. We want that lower back, the ribs, to stay down. So we don't want those ribs popping way up, okay? So breathe into those ribs. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your arms all the way down. Inhale, exhale. And just be aware of how your shoulders, pecs, thoracic spine, upper back, feel how that all feels. Okay? Beautiful. Now, take your ball, and we'll just do one ball because I don't think everybody has two. And we're going to bring that ball underneath our upper, between our spine and our shoulder blade. Okay? Let's start with that right side. Hands behind your head. It might feel a little weird because we're just doing one side, but you're going to inhale as you extend. And you can watch my chin stays in place. My chin tucks when I lower. Exhale if I come back up. So inhale. So I'm not allowing this to happen. I'm not allowing that space between my chin and my chest to increase. So it's inhale, exhale. And I'm breathing, nice deep breath into my lower ribs. And I'm exhaling that air out. And then you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna reach back, but reach that right arm straight up and over as far as you can. And support yourself with your left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Roll that ball a little bit lower down your back now. So we're kind of, if you feel your shoulder blade, you want to be in the center of your shoulder blade. Again, just next to the spine, to the right of the spine, between the spine and the shoulder blade, but in that center part. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you extend. Exhale. One more. And then reach the arm. And try to reach that arm up off of your rib cage. So we're reaching from the underarm, last one. And we'll go one more section. So now we're kind of at the base of the shoulder blade there. Inhale as you extend. Very, very soft. Don't force anything. Use the breath as a guide. If you can breathe into it, you're doing a good job. Last one. And then reach that arm. Inhale. Last one. Beautiful. And then just take that ball out. Lie on your back, or stay on your back rather. Bring those elbows back down. and bring your arms down and then just glide. And just feel the difference between the sides. Feel whether that right arm moves a little bit freer. And really all we did was work on the rib cage and the thoracic spine. But you can notice right away how much that affects, how much that impacts your shoulder range of motion. And your breath. Got a nice breath there. Okay? Beautiful. Let's switch sides. So bring that ball underneath your upper, between the shoulder blade and the spine, the upper part of the shoulder blade. And you're going to inhale as you extend. Exhale, come up. There's 1, 2, and 3. Take your left arm off. You're going to reach. Keep that chin tucked. Use that breath. Inhale into those lower ribs, lower back. It's going to help keep that area kind of anchored down so we're not arching the back to access this range. Good. Roll that ball a little bit lower. And same idea. Inhale as you extend. Exhale. Coming up. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Reach that arm. Try to reach up and over. Last one. Beautiful. Roll down to that last section. So you should be between the shoulder blade and the spine, but at that bottom part of the shoulder blade. Inhale as you extend. This is the area where people tend to want to arch their lower back. So make sure you just go as low as you can without that happening. And again, use that breath. Focusing on that extension. And reach the arm now. 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Take that ball out. And bring your arms down again. First, just take a deep breath and just feel how much easier it is to get how much easier it is to get a 3-dimensional breath, but how much easier it is to get a and inhale as you slide your arms up, and just feel how much lighter those shoulders feel. So you feel how much lower, without you having to force it, how much lower your arms can go. And then what I want you to do is we're going to add a little contraction. So we're going to actually push into the floor for a deep breath. So inhale. On the exhale, relax and just slide your arms up. Okay, push into the floor, deep breath. Just kind of activating the upper back and shoulders. On the exhale, relax and reach up. Let's do one more of those. Push to the floor. Deep breath. On the exhale, reach. Awesome. Okay, you're going to stand up. So we worked on our feet, we worked on our ankles, we worked on our calves, we worked on our quads, we worked on our lower back, we worked on our upper back. Let's see how our squat feels. And again, just take a nice deep breath. Just feel how much freer it is to breathe after releasing some of those areas of your body. Okay, just lower down, and just see if there's more comfort. See if there's more range. Again, I just like to use this as a tool because we constantly have to be accessing this squat position, whether we're standing up from the toilet, getting out of our cars, sitting down into a chair, just getting down on the floor, all of those things, we have to access that range. So we want to maintain that and continue that. All right, so let's bring the legs together. Inhale your arms up. Let's do an 8-second exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Excellent job. Pay attention to how your body feels throughout the day.